Hey, what's up, y'all? Woo, honey. First of all, let me apologize because, hold on. Y'all don't mind. Okay. Woo, I'm in a different locale, y'all. Y'all look. Look here. Oh, I'm dog sitting. So, me and Remy, that's the dog's name. That's my neighbor's dog. We, just came back from a walk. So, Remy, oh, there's water. Okay. Um, But yeah, y'all, I'm late on this video. I was supposed to put out a video, I think, yesterday. Let me tell y'all something. First of all, let me get this camera together. Um, it's it's not hard for me to film what I need to film, but ooh, I just been had so much that I just been, and so sometimes I run out of time to film. Like for instance, okay, so tomorrow is State Fair Classic, um, and then the next week, all week, is homecoming. So I better do some film. I better film like hell today and tomorrow because Lord have mercy. But anyway, that being said, I want to cover two little things. I'm gonna put. I want y'all to do me a favor and go check out if you want to see somebody who's enthusiastic about gardening and their first time gardening. Because you know how sometimes you watch people so long or you watch different stuff so long and you know people lose their enthusiasm. Um, but go watch Angela's Gardening Delight, and she's gardening in, I think she said Arizona, but I know it's the desert. So she's gardening against all odds, and when I tell y'all, I don't know how she managed it, cause she got stuff growing everywhere. But what was hilarious was, and I think she said it in one of her videos, that she decided not to get a trellis, or maybe thought she didn't need a trellis. She grew so much vine and stuff, and then she can't see the ground, and she can't get to her stuff. Angela, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. But yeah, she's got melons and cucumbers and peppers, and I mean all kinds of stuff out there. So y'all watch. I often tell people that you know when you garden in the desert, if you want to see the impossible, because I have no clue. My stuff was burning up here, and their temps was 10 and 15 degrees higher than it was here. So, but yeah, y'all go check out Angela's Gardening Delight. Like I said, she seems to be fairly new to gardening. I think she said she gardened before in Tennessee, but maybe that was when she was younger. Um, so yeah, y'all go check her out, and then I'm gonna leave the link to a video. If y'all have never watched Farmer Girl Jessie, yeah, you know, that's what I be aspiring to. And I'm gonna leave you a specific video so that you can see what I'm talking about when this woman stands in her fields. And I mean, you can't see the ground. All you see is whatever she growing, whether it's cabbages or sweet potatoes or carrots. It's coming, people. It's coming. Because, see, that's where I want to do. I want to stand and take my thumbnail pictures. And when you look behind me, all you see is food. No ground, no nut, just food. That's all. That's what I want. So, because I think it's important for people to always be motivated by something. For instance, I have a dream board. I have different things like that. You have to constantly be looking at something, and constantly have your mind on something if you ever want to get something. Because I promise you, stuff don't come to you just by chance, just by hoping, just by, you know, just fall in your lap. Over 90% of stuff in life you got to work for. Can people get lucky? Yeah, people hit the lotto. You know what I'm saying? But then also look at most of those people who hit the lotto in about a month, all that money gone. It don't matter how many millions it was. They just let you know that they didn't have a plan. Well, they had a plan, Spend. That was the plan. But yeah. So I'm gonna leave y'all with those two things first. The third thing I want to talk about is thank you to all my new subscribers. I'm at 1560. I think it's 1562. I think when I happened to have looked this morning. So thank you for all my new subscribers. If you're not subscribed, you need to be subscribed. Know what you waiting on. And if you not subscribed and don't want to subscribe, why are you watching? Oh. But yeah, so that's that. But on to what this video is about. So y'all, I was walking and the weather was so nice this morning. I was walking Remy, and I said to myself, you know, oh, and another thing I noticed in my garden the last about week or so, I have noticed my tomatoes are starting to make tomatoes. You know, it was a welcome sight to see little green balls out there. So they're making tomatoes. And they're not ripe yet, and they're still blooming, and and then Missy Grando left me a comment that kind of put it on my mind as well. She left a comment that said, thanks for showing that, you know, sometimes you can hang on to these plants even when they've been beat up by the heat, the drought, you know, and they come back. And so it put it on my mind to kind of talk about something that I think a lot of people don't talk about. So this is for my new gardeners, or perhaps even if you're struggling gardening and you've been gardening for a while, or perhaps, you know, the summer is a bit, because let's be honest, when people get older, or if they have health issues, or if it's a lot of different reasons, or, you know, life will take you in whatever direction. Maybe summer gardening ain't for you. Or if you're a new gardener and you've never gardened before and you're thinking about it, or maybe you moved to a new location, so you're not necessarily a new gardener, but you're a new gardener in that particular climate. I want to impress upon you that I honestly, and I've thought this way for years, but I just never really, you know, sometimes you think something, but you don't never verbalize it or put it out there. Fall is the best time to garden. Fall is the best time to start your garden. Fall is the best time to think about gardening. You know, when it starts getting to the end of the summer, and I'm actually kind of late with this message, so I apologize for that, but when it gets to the end of the summer and you know, you start seeing the temperature just starting to dip off and start to, you know, get a little cooler, start your garden. I know most people are going to advocate and say spring, and that's because so much, especially in America, is built on farming, believe it or not. I mean, when kids start school and it's out of school, it's based on farming. Like, that's basically what it's based on. That's why kids are out during the harvest season. That's why kids are out of school at certain times of years. It was based on, you know, that's what it was based on. So yeah, just fall is actually a better time. And I'm gonna be honest, you know, with the way the weather has been the last few years, it's even more reason why fall is better. For instance, I take myself, a lot of times I'm not always on time with planting seeds in the spring. It's not that I'm behind. Well, I'll be behind. I just have a lot of things going on. I'm not, gardening is not my main, gardening is not a main source of income for me. Is it, you know, can it earn me money? Does it earn me money? Yeah. This week I think I made $40, $50 selling greens. But $40, $50 is enough money to put gas in my gas tank. Like $40, $50 ain't going that far. So that's what I'm saying. So sometimes things get in the way and you have a lot of stuff you want to get done and you don't always get it done immediately. So I'm saying that to say, when I started my tomato seeds, because I start everything from seed. Now, if you start from starts, you'll have a little bit better chances. But I will say this, if you're going to start a fall garden, if you notice at the store, there aren't a lot of starts. They have gotten rid of a lot of the starts. They have more starts in the spring. They usually don't have any starts right now. They start putting out poinsettias and all that kind of stuff right now. So you're going to have to go from seed more than likely. So start starting your seeds right at the end of summer. Maybe even 2-3 weeks to a month before summer is over. Start starting you some seeds. Start looking at what cold, cool weather plants. And don't be afraid to plant tomatoes. Because I'm going to be honest and tell y'all, I think I'm done with spraying tomatoes. I was late, but even when you're late, let me tell you what people do when it comes to tomatoes. And it kind of drives me just a little. I mean, it's not, okay, when I say it drives me, it don't drive me like I'm ready to hurt somebody. It ain't like that. But it's like, you'll grow a larger variety of tomatoes. It gets big enough, starts putting on tomatoes, and they'll get one big cluster of tomatoes. And then it seems, because a lot of people are not paying attention in the garden. I don't know how many times I gotta say you gotta pay attention. But they think that their tomatoes have stopped making, or they're going to stop making. Go back in my videos in the summer and look at my tomatoes and look at how bad they looked. They looked. They still don't look gorgeous, but they're looking much, much better. Because the temps have cooled off, because it's not as hot, because it's not a drought, because it's not, you get what I'm saying? And where I have my tomatoes planted, they're in full sun. So it's like, they fruit better like that. That's the reason why they're in full sun. They will fruit in the shade, but they fruit less. So you can nurse them. If you limp them through, just keep them alive. Limp them through. Watch in the fall how they go back to putting on. I have said 1,000,000 times, and I don't know if it's people don't believe me or what, tomatoes will not set fruit when the temps are over a certain temperature. It's not that they're dying. It's not that they can't set fruit. That's the way the fruit works. They're not like peppers, even though they're in the same family. They're not like peppers. They're not like eggplants. They're not like okra. All that stuff loves the heat. They're not like cowpeas. They will stop setting. Even ground cherries will do that a little bit. The ground cherries do it less. But I also have my ground cherries planted in the sun so they stay cooler too. I have not planted a ground cherry in full sun to see will it actually stop setting fruit, and it's too cool now. Now that it's in the 80s constantly, like it's in the high 80s, like I think today is supposed to be 91, they'll set. But once they get too much over 90, I think at 95 they quit setting. They'll bloom all day long. You'll see the blooms, and you'll come back and the blooms be them fell off. Because it's hot. And people will wait till those tomatoes get ripe, the ones that set. And then they will come through and pull their plants out in June, July. To me, have you gotten something out of it? Yeah, you've gotten something out of it. Now, don't get me wrong. If you got something, and I'm not so much talking about my season gardeners, because some of my season gardeners, they know what they're doing. They're like, okay, well, I done got all the tomatoes I want. I'm good. So I'm finna plant something else right here. That's a different story. I'm talking about when I see newer people just ripping stuff out, just going on what people say, just ripping stuff out. Careful listening to folks. That's just like in life. Misery loves company. I have found that people will advise you to do that same stupid stuff that they do just so that they won't be in the minority on doing stupid stuff. I done told people over and over, you have to ask people, why are you doing that? What is your goal? What is your end game? If they don't have one, do not follow said advice. Because they're just talking. They're not thinking, they're not being cognitive, they're just talking. So that being said, my tomatoes looking beautiful now. But I'm going to be honest, going forward, I think I'm only going to do fall tomatoes. Because what I can do is, I can have something planted there. For instance, my melons are dying out now. And these are things that you have to watch, pay attention, be cognitive. If you do not have a gardening journal where you're writing, because I promise you won't remember everything. I have a decent memory, and I can't remember everything. Write down when things are dying back. Y'all remember when those watermelons were getting ready to die back? I thought in my head. And I see, what if I had planted some tomato seeds And I could have used those dying watermelon vines to mulch the tomato plants as they come up. It'll feed the tomatoes, shade the ground, keep it cool, keep it moist, and my tomatoes will come on up in the place of them watermelons. You see what I'm saying? But the watermelons bounce back, but that's okay though. Because see, I still could have threw me some seeds. And I did. Remember I told y'all I put the beans out there? Well, the watermelon vines, they got watermelon still left on them, but you can tell this is their last wrap. So when those watermelons come off, I think I counted 18 the other day. I done harvested a couple. I was watermelon eating food, and I'm tired of people begging me for watermelons. I'm planting my watermelon somewhere else. It's too much. Nick Rose done caught on. See, I got lucky. I got lucky last year. Nick Rose, see, they thought it wasn't no watermelons in there. See, they seeing them now. Man gonna drive by. I see your watermelon patch. I bet you I'm gonna plant mine next year. Now, see, I don't mind that. But it's the ones, when you gonna have my watermelon ready, Nick Rose, when you have some money ready? Because I don't give watermelons away. I like watermelon too much. Black folk chicken and watermelons, that's me. I'm the stereotype. Right here. So, yeah, I'm just, all these things I be thinking about. My okra don't like cooler weather. My okra is producing, but it's dying on out. I could have planted tomatoes there. The squash, remember the squash? Which kind of the vine borers went on guided? I could have had tomatoes there. And honestly, I could have left those okra stalks, and that could have been trellis for my tomatoes. That could have been a natural trellis, and when all that shit die, cut it all down and mulch with all of it. You see what I'm saying? So these are the things that I was noticing and noticing these things. And I'm like, yeah, you got to be. So I'm on it now. I think I'm only going to do fall tomatoes. But I'm saying all this to say, back to the original, fall is the best time to garden. You want to know why? I don't advocate for recommending people, unless they just really want to, people to make things so hard on themselves the first go around. What do I mean? Okay, especially depending on where you're living at. Now keep in mind, if you got a shorter season, you can fall garden, but it's not going to be as long. But if you in the south or somewhere that really don't get snow or it stay hot all the way till October, November, December, you need to be fall gardening, in my opinion. And if it's your first garden, you need to contemplate doing a fall garden. Even if you can't grow some of your favorite stuff, even if you're only growing leafy greens, even do that. Why? I'm going to tell you what you're going to battle with in the spring. In the spring, every stinging, blood-sucking bug comes out with a vengeance. So when you come out in the spring, you coming out and the bugs coming out there after you and your plants. Just go on and get ready. In the fall, the bugs is thinking about going in. In the spring, yeah, it feel nice, but what's going to come right behind that? The heat. The heat going to get you. So not only are you going to have to battle nature, the pests, all that, you're going to have to be sweating while you're doing it. Taking 4 and 5 baths a day, your water bill going to be high. See, these are things that people not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you about it. They're not going to be real and just tell you what it is. Because I keep trying to tell people urban gardening, urban farming, period. Growing anything, period. Doing any kind of hobby outside, period, is stuff that come with it. They're not going to tell you how, if your area goes through a drought or a heat wave, how all of your stuff going to burn out. And you done put 4 or 5 months into it. Of your time, sweat, tears, energy, stress, whatever. How your stuff liable to burn up. I ain't gonna tell you that. It ain't gonna happen in the fall. Your stuff ain't gonna burn up. Your stuff is gonna be thriving. It's gonna be so pretty. Make some things easier on yourself. If you're anxious or weary or not sure about growing because maybe you've never done it before or maybe you're not that experienced, take some of the stuff out where you don't have to worry about it. Take some stuff off your plate. You don't have to water nearly as much in the fall. I'm going to be honest. It's going to get to a point here in a minute. Now, I'm still watering because it's still getting to the low 90s. When it starts staying in the mid 80s and below in the day, I cease watering. Ain't no watering. My fall garden do what it do. When I know some rain gonna come or something, I may fertilize or put down compost or do something like that. But I cease that watering. Let me tell you how it depending on what climate you in, you can water it every day. Every day. And sweating and dying, watering every day. Unless you set up some systems that, irrigation, like if y'all saw Clausen World set up her stuff. But watch this. She got it set up. Look how she had to work to set it up, though. And it's nothing wrong. I'm not knocking the way she did it. I did more or less kind of the same thing. Her system just it's more fancy. I'm low budget, and let me tell you something. Clausen were patient, because baby snapping that little stuff together, honey, I'd have thrown all that mess on the ground and went in the house. See, that's why I did soaker hoses. Cause I'm lazy, and I know me. I be. Clausen World a trooper. She tough. That's a tough woman. Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. I'm just, honey, I'm my generation weak. But anyway, yeah, so like I said, it's work that go into all of this stuff. And you have to understand what you're setting up. Just like my mushrooms, I kind of throw that on the back burner, because, baby, between the heat, the mushroom wasn't going to make anyway in the heat. They weren't going to do like that in the heat. But, like, now I can get back on my mushrooms and back on, because I know people ask for that content. And, yes, I need to inoculate some more logs. My shiitake logs, they'll probably start back making in the fall. Making mushrooms, but I need to inoculate some more. I want some lion's mane, I want some oysters, I want some different mushrooms. So I'm just saying, gardening is so much easier, and you'll probably have more success because you have less things against you. And sometimes you need some wins. Like, I get it that in order to be successful in things, you're gonna have to fail. Like I tell people all the time, you know how much stuff I've killed? If killing plants was illegal, baby, I'd be up under the jail. I've killed so much stuff. Like, but everybody's doesn't have that amount of perseverance, but you can kind of build up your perseverance and build up your motivation if you see yourself getting some wins, because really, that's really kind of what knocks a lot of people out. You get a lot of losses up front, and you're like, damn, I suck at this. And unfortunately, people were not raised with the kind of mother that I was raised with. When I did that, I used to get slapped. Girl, I done told you about doubting yourself. I don't raise no nut. You gonna mess up. Pick it up. Tighten up. Do something. Because that ain't how that, I had that kind of mother. And granted, you don't have to be as, my mother was. She'll encourage you. She had a certain kind of encouragement. And my encouragement is similar, because I'm not really this, I envy those people who can be fuzzy and lovey-dovey and sweet and kind. Because some people need that. I believe that's what Michael Jackson needed. Michael Jackson was a genius, but because he was so traumatized, you see, and I love Mike. But just be real. And look at the rest of them. Like, the rest of them Jacksons. You know what I'm saying? But Joe did that and Catherine allowed it. But we're not going to get on that. Because I keep trying to say mothers, and you let these men, I don't care who they are, do stuff to your children. But we don't get on that, because that's a conversation we had the other evening. But in society, because people have not been taught to kind of like persevere, push, you know what I'm saying? So many people doubt how much they can do, and you trust me, you can do a lot more than you think. You can do a lot more than you think. You can do it when you think you at the end of something. You can do a little more. I assure you. It's just you have to push yourself to go there. You have to try to stay positive. And yes, it's not easy staying positive, but you must. And don't think that I'm, positive 100% of the time. I'm not. But it's just that over the years, having somebody in my life that just, would teach you to override some of the thoughts you have in your head. You know what I mean? Override the thoughts you have in your head about, I can't. No, yes, you can. Who told you can't? You? Because I'm going to be if you say you can't, you can't. Did you hear what I just said? If you say you can't, you can't. But if you say you can, you can. Y'all better figure that out. Y'all better figure that out real soon. And I'm gonna be honest, you got a lot of people in your life telling you what you can't do and how you, okay, get rid of them people. I said that before in another video. I'm not gonna harp on that. Get rid of them people. Baby, people don't understand. I will cut you off with a quickness. You be on that negative mess. That people know me. I cut somebody out the other day on some mess. I said, get away from me. I don't want your negative energy. Take Misery Loves Company, and I don't want your company. Take your miserable ass company on elsewhere. I'm good. You see what I'm saying? So, get you some wins. You know what I'm saying? And then once you persevere, you see you can do some things. When some opposition or some obstacles or some, something get in your way, your little struggle come, you be like, okay, but I did it before. So I know I can do it again. I just need to get out here and get it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's one of the main reasons why I feel like fall gardening for the new gardener, sometimes for the seasoned gardener, for a gardener that maybe you can't do this heat no more. Maybe some things have changed in your life. Maybe you can fall garden. Ain't nothing wrong with fall garden. Drop you some seeds, water them in. When they come up, when they looking good and stuff, walk off. Because in a minute, you ain't got to water nothing. You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, your variety of stuff that you can grow may be slightly diminished. A lot of leafy greens, and maybe I should go over that in the next video. I'll just do what you should plant in a fall garden, and I'll go over that stuff. But I just want to try to empower you all to keep pushing, keep growing your food. Whatever you're doing in life, stay positive. Don't let these people tell you what you can't do. And, if you make some mistakes, laugh about it and go on. That's what life is about. Just learn from the mistakes. Now, don't keep making the same stupid mistake over and over. You keep making that same stupid mistake over and over, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. If you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, it's insanity. Now, don't do that now. Let's be smart. And let's do what we got to do out here. And once again, I'm gonna try to keep the videos coming. I'm probably gonna do quite a few of these little talking videos. I don't know if people gonna watch this or not, but but I'll do some more stuff in the garden too, because I do have a few things I want to show you. It's a couple of pepper varieties that I thought was one thing that are clearly something else. But yeah, and I want to show y'all those things. And I think that's about it. Remy, come here, Remy. Y'all know I have to do my signature. Come on, Remy. Come on, Remy. Come on, tell the people. Remy's new to YouTube. Remy, tell the people bye. Tell them. Till next time. See you guys later.